guys, Tina Murray here, Change and Innovation Solutionist. Today I'm speaking to you about creativity and crisis. Now you mightn't always put those in the same sentence, I'm sure, and who wants a crisis in their life? I'm sure most of us don't. But we can actually use bad situations in our life to turn our life around. I often come across this in my interior design business. What may happen is a builder will be on site and he'll discover something during demolition that we hadn't expected to be there because it hadn't been documented previously. And what it's meant is that we might need to change our design. Now you can imagine we come under a lot of pressure because the builder's not going to change his program, the client still needs to have delivered on time and to the brief that they want. And so often we're coming up very quickly with new ideas to create a solution to the problem which has come up on site. Now, I'm by no means saying that what's happening in your life when you're in crisis is as simple as a design solution, but the process is exactly the same. Okay, so if we've found ourselves in crisis, what can we do and how can we use the design process to move on from that crisis or find a solution to it, or a way to make it never happen again or to limit the damage that's happening? Number one, we need to take stock of where we're at. And this is like a briefing process in the design. Okay, feel what you need to feel. Acknowledge that you're sad, that you're scared, whatever it is that you're feeling. But also please take time to acknowledge what's got you into this situation. Take stock of your own behaviours, your own influences, and what you've been able to control, and acknowledge what you haven't been able to control, because we can't control everything. But once we've felt it and we've actually acknowledged where we're at, it's time to use that creativity that comes from crisis to create a solution so that you can move on for whatever it is that's disturbing you at the moment. How do we do that? Number one, use that energy to really think differently. We can use that when we're under pressure, we think differently, we feel differently, we take risks we wouldn't normally take. We ask for help that we may not have asked for before. And it's important to do this so that we can actually come up with a solution. So like mind mapping, when we're going through a creative process, throw out all these ideas about what it is that you think might help with this solution. Have some fun with it if you can. Be serious. Use whatever it is that takes to get it out of your head and out of your heart and down onto a piece of paper so you can start to put together some solutions that will be workable for you. The final stage, after you've come up with all these wonderful ideas, creative ideas about how you can actually use the energy of that crisis to come up with solutions so you find yourself moving on from this crisis, is to take action. So take all those big ideas and sequentially break down the ones that you think actually can be manageable and you can use to start to move away from your crisis. It's amazing how empowered we feel once we're taking some action. And that could be asking for help, so please ask for help if you need it. But also take the steps that you can to move forward. And the final part of this journey when we're creating a solution to a crisis in our life is once we've moved past the main part of that crisis, when we've got a little bit more space after we've taken action, is to actually sit back and acknowledge what it is that you've achieved and what lessons you've learned from this. And hopefully there's some really positive outcomes amongst that crisis that you can look back on in the future and say, yeah, I handled that well, I was resilient, or whatever it is that has worked for you from that. Unfortunately, designing our lives is not always easy. But changing our mindset and changing a crisis into a creative opportunity to create solutions for our lives is the way that we can design it, communicate it, and live it. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love you to like, comment, and share. And please connect further with me at tinamurray.com.